Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Buddy Lee with Last Place Productions. This is Jimmy. Say hi, Jim. So what we're doing today is we're doing a 20-hour review, or how many hours I have on this thing. And let's see. So got 20.5 hours on this thing. And so far, what I can say is it takes about 10 hours to break on the front fork. That's kind of stiff at first, but now it's pretty good. I'm about 190, 195 with gear, maybe like pushing 200, and it's plush, but it's never I've never really bottomed out too much. You can tell I got about an inch before I bottom out on the front forks. I have not touched the clickers. I'm probably about to stiffen that up a little bit now that the front fork is broken. And the only other changes I made, obviously other, protection stuff, just a handle to lift it. And I put a spark arrestor here. Just keep it legal for forest, California here. That's what you gotta do. The power valve, I marked it right there. So we're actually a full turn out from stock. And it kind of woke the bike up a lot. I waited about 10-15 hours to touch that because I wanted to get a feel for the bike and what it was. The rear brakes are exquisite. I'm really happy with them. The feel is great. Front brakes as well. One thing I wish the bike would have came with was a coolant fan, because it definitely needs it. Runs lean. It's a fuel injected 2-stroke and California spec at that. So that's I don't know what difference that makes, but over here everything's way more strict. So I would imagine it's running a bit lean. I haven't spent the money on an ECU yet, because I feel like the bike runs fine. I'm not really worried about it. I do a lot of gnarly stuff on this bike. My motocross bike is a completely different bike, so just different power characteristics. I've changed the oil in the transmission every 5 to 7 hours. Lately I've been doing it every 5 just to keep up on it. Done a few protection items, and I've dumped the bike a couple times on some hill climbs to where the bike just died out and it was gnarly. It is what it is. The headlight I've used a couple times. It's not the brightest, but it'll get you back home. If you plan on doing real night riding, that's probably something you want to upgrade. I personally go with full wrap bend, full wrap hand guards, because it's just the stuff I ride. I mean, I have bad luck with clutch lever, so that'll leave you stranded sometimes, as with the KX has happened before I put full wraps on that. Now that's my track bike and I don't really care, but this is my trail bike, so I need that. I got this strap initially, but I'm only 5'9", and it didn't really help me give me leverage. So I got this, and this thing like helped a whole bunch, because otherwise you had to pick it up by the pretty much by the muffler, so which is not good. I have swing arm protection and all that, and that's been fine. That's more just to preserve the fucking bike. I mean, $20 is nothing. Obviously I got the rear rotor guard. That thing has taken a little bit of scratching already, so that was definitely worth it. Shit happens when you're riding in the rocks. A little bit of scratch right there. I haven't had to service much on the bike other than just basic maintenance and fluid changes and stuff. I did convert to engine ice for the coolant, as opposed to the purple stuff that comes stock. I have not touched the rear shock assembly as far as adjustment wise. It's pretty plush. I kind of like it. I think I might stiffen it a tad bit, and same with the front. I might stiffen that a tad bit just because of my weight or whatever compared to like the factory spring rate. And pretty much we're just gonna keep pushing on this, but I've seen people do reviews, and that's kind of my take. The chain stretched a tad bit. I had to adjust it a little bit. It wasn't much, just mild adjustment. And you can look in the owner's manual how to do that. I haven't really done much videos of maintenance on this, just because got a lot of stuff going lately. So, but this bike has, I'm super happy with it. You got to keep up on the air filter and just the regular maintenance, man. And this thing just runs tits. So I followed all the maintenance procedures. I've tightened spokes in the rear. There were a couple that came slightly loose, but nothing too crazy. The rims have held up pretty good. And how I do it is I just tap on the rims. You can tell by the different sound on them, kind of what the tightness is. And as long as they're all around a certain feel. This is a cold start, super cold. It's like 40 degrees up here. No choke. I mean, the thing runs. It's pretty good. You know, it takes a little bit of warming up. Obviously, this cold weather, kind of hear it. But once it warms up, you get about 100 yards out, it all clears up, man, and it runs. So I've had probably about 2,000 to 3,000 degrees of elevation change with. Maybe I restarted the bike, I think one time, and that was about 2,000 feet, and the bike ran no different. So the new TPI or whatever map I got, I've heard some other people having issues with that, but for me, it was not an issue at all. So, I mean, there's also the retrofit kit, to where I would prefer it came with the kickstart, but to be honest, I haven't had to use it one time. I haven't trickle charged this battery, haven't done any of that. You know, I mean, the bike has been great. So, most people out here don't have that experience either, so it's been good. And, you know, I don't have much bad to say about this bike, to be honest. So another thing is fuel consumption, and fuel consumption is so minimal on this bike. It's absolutely crazy. On my 2007 300 XCW, I had Electron, and this actually gets better mileage than Electron, which was actually really impressive. I actually had a bigger tank on my 07. I want to say it was a 2.9 gallon. This is 2.4. But I want to say the range isn't much different, because this thing is super efficient, and it has top-end power, but you really need to use it depending on like what you're doing. If I'm in the desert, I'm going to get more into the power band and like kind of wind it out. But a lot of times I can short shift and it'll chug me up the mountain, just minimal effort, man. So haven't had any issues with starting. It's only stalled one time while starting it, and I didn't put the choke on, and I just started and pressed the button, and it was like 40 degrees, and we were out at Elkins Flat. And, you know, the air is a little bit thinner up there, so I would imagine if I would have pulled the choke on, that wouldn't have done that. But I've never had to pull the choke on to start this bike. I started it again, it kept running. So, I'm really happy with this bike. Anyone looking to get the 2020 or the 2021, which is like the new model now, I hear those mechanically aren't really any different as far as the XCW. I'm not sure about the XC. I hear the XC air forks are a little bit softer per amount of PSI, but I have spring forks in this, so it's irrelevant. But just from reviews I've seen from particular people on YouTube. Yeah, so anyhow, this is my review of the bike. It's an absolute amazing bike. 2020 KTM 300 XCW TPI. This is, I feel like they really figured it out this time, and that's why I was willing to buy this bike. And I put the money down, and believe me, it ain't cheap. You can look at how much they cost. But for me, I love dirt biking that much. As long as I get the amount of fun out of it, then it's a good investment. So, as far as my review for this, I have nothing but praise for this bike. The front end, you know, like I said a little bit earlier, took a little bit of time to break in, but after about 10 hours, it was good. Like the owner's manual suggested, and it really smoothed out. So, yeah, if you're looking to get one of these bikes, whether a 2020 or 2021, they're absolutely amazing. Once again, this has been Buddy Lee with Last Place Productions. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my content, and I've got more coming up for you guys. All right.